A power-off stall simulates a stall while descending to land, such as when an airplane becomes too slow or the pilot raises the nose too much during the approach. This is not a takeoff maneuver. We begin with power reduced and the airplane established in a controlled descent, configured as recommended by the manufacturer for the simulated landing. The objective is not to create a dramatic drop. It is to recognize the warning signs, remain coordinated, and recover correctly with the least practical loss of altitude. In this lesson, we will use DuBois Aviation's Piper Cherokee, November 9841 Whiskey, and follow the maneuver from the approach descent through the stall break, recovery, flap cleanup, and return to a stable climb. This is supplemental training. Always follow the current POH and practice stalls with a qualified flight instructor. Begin with clearing turns and verify the practice area is free of traffic, clouds, terrain, and other hazards. Complete the appropriate checklist and choose an entry altitude that allows the maneuver and recovery to be completed safely. The private pilot standards require the maneuver to be completed no lower than 1,500 feet above ground level, unless the airplane's operating limitations or your instructor require more. Select a clear outside reference and brief how you will discontinue the maneuver if coordination, altitude, or traffic conditions become unacceptable. Reduce power and configure the airplane to simulate the descent on an approach to landing, following the procedure recommended by the manufacturer. Extend flaps only within the approved operating range and use the current checklist for November 9841 Whiskey. Establish approximately a 500 foot per minute descent and trim for the stabilized approach speed, but stop trimming at the manufacturer's recommended point as the airplane slows. The airplane should clearly be descending, not climbing as it would during takeoff. Keep the wings level or use only the shallow bank directed by your instructor. Hold the outside flight path and remain coordinated with rudder. Smoothly increase angle of attack while reducing power as appropriate for the maneuver. Airspeed decreases, control pressures change, and the controls become less effective. Listen for the stall warning and feel for aerodynamic buffet, a higher sink rate, or difficulty maintaining the desired flight path. The stall can occur at different airspeeds, depending on weight, load factor, configuration, and coordination. Keep the ball centered with rudder. Avoid abrupt aileron inputs, and do not stare at the airspeed indicator. At the critical angle of attack, airflow separates from enough of the wing that lift decreases and drag rises sharply. The nose may drop, the descent rate may increase, and one wing may begin to lower if the airplane is not coordinated. The correct response is not to pull harder or force the wings level while the wing remains stalled. Recognize the brake and immediately begin the recovery. The wing must be unloaded before normal control authority and lift can be restored. First, release enough back pressure and lower the nose as necessary to reduce angle of attack and eliminate the stall warning. This is the essential recovery action. Next, level the wings with coordinated rudder and aileron as control effectiveness returns. Smoothly apply power as needed while using right rudder to manage yaw and left turning tendencies. Do not rush to raise the nose. Allow the wing to fly and the airspeed to increase before transitioning toward the climb attitude. As the airplane accelerates, retract flaps in stages according to the POH and verify the airplane continues climbing after each configuration change. If full flaps were used, the first reduction normally removes some drag while preserving lift, but the exact sequence belongs to the aircraft checklist. Establish the appropriate climb speed and attitude, maintain coordination, and avoid an abrupt pull-up that could create a secondary stall. Retrim only after the airplane is under control. Then verify altitude, heading, airspeed, engine indications, and traffic. Remember the sequence. Clear and configure. Recognize the cues. Reduce angle of attack first. Level the wings with coordinated controls. Add power as needed. Accelerate, clean up, and return to a stable climb. For the private pilot practical test, maintain the specified heading or bank as directed. Recognize and recover promptly after a full stall occurs, and complete the maneuver no lower than 1,500 feet above ground level. Use the current POH and instructor guidance for aircraft-specific speeds and flat procedures.